Hello, my name is Sharon Bassicourt, and I'm presenting on behalf of the Clothesline Campaign, which is sponsored by Post Carbon London and by TRIA, and we are asking for $3,800. As citizens of London, Canada, each of us here today understands the meaning of the words smog day. We know what it is to not be able to make a full and deep air inspiration on one of these days. The 5 years between 1996 and 2000 saw 32 smog days in London. The subsequent 10 years, from 2001 until the present time, saw 232 smog days, so the problem is not getting better. Our Clothesline Campaign endeavors to improve this situation by reducing greenhouse gases and hence smog days in our city. We will do this by promoting and encouraging the use in London's backyards of the outdoor linear reel-to-reel clothesline. This is not to say that there is not a place for the circular outdoor line or for the small portable drying rack, but there is nothing like the linear reel-to-reel line to get the job done. British Columbia Hydro tells us that after the refrigerator, the dryer uses the most energy of any appliance in the home. They also tell us that 2 kilograms of carbon emissions are released per load from the average dryer, whereas no fossil fuels are burned using an outdoor line. Solar and wind energy only are used for drying laundry outside. Additionally, no airborne lint is produced and no chemicals are used to create a clothesline fresh smell, and no static claim preventatives are needed. The Clothesline Campaign, along with the London PUC, determined that an average family of 4 using a dryer 4 hours per week would spend $240 annually on electricity. And this cost was determined before the rates increased on November 1st of this year. An additional benefit of an outdoor line is that hanging clothes to dry reduces shrinkage in fabric wear. A frequently asked question is, will my clothes fade more quickly in the sun? And the answer is no. Putting clothes in a dryer will break down the fabric and fade them more quickly than sunlight. The lint a dryer trap collects is the fabric of your clothes being broken down. We like our initiative because it engages Londoners in pro-environmental behavior. Once Londoners see that a clothesline is easier on the pocketbook, they will be encouraged, proud, and eager to try other enviro initiatives. And is there not something authentic about drying laundry out of doors, just as there is an authenticity to a meal prepared at a campsite? We will promote our campaign with visual reminders through advertising, such as a billboard, newspaper ads, and a website. Our lovely flyer, designed by David McCall of Post Carbon London, has been in distribution since June of this year. Ideally, as the message gains momentum, the media in the form of print journalism and radio talk shows will pick us up and we will be able to expand on this. Our tie to TRIA's Lawnmower project is a logical one. We both are interested in London's air quality. TRIA's project promotes the use of the battery-powered mower or the push-reel mower in place of the highly polluting 2-stroke engine now commonly used. And so kind panel, the Clothesline Campaign asks that you bestow upon us funding in the full amount requested. And we will do the rest. We will promote clothesline use in London, and we will see decreased energy usage and hence cleaner air. In time, our emergency departments will record fewer visits by those suffering acute respiratory distress on bad air days. And is this, after all, not the ultimate goal?
Thanks, Sharon. I love the simplicity and the doability of your project. Here was the question when I was reading it. I'm remembering when we first started using composters.
Yes.
Remember those black boxes? And they were giveaways.
Yes.
So we got them for free. I forget where exactly. But I'm wondering, and I also live in an apartment, so the racks make a lot of sense.
Yes.
Wondering if in your conversation you ever considered partnering with either maybe Canadian Tire, maybe Home Hardware, I don't know, to, they might take some price off. If you had a little more money, you might put some price and give away some clotheslines.
We had thought about that too, and we had thought about it, and it never went further than that. We had considered running a contest, and the winner wins everything, maybe even the installation of the clothesline itself. And so if you have someone installing it for you, plus all the paraphernalia that you need, the cost is about $400. So we had considered that, and possibly it's something that we could do yet.
I'm wondering here, you're primarily looking at newspaper ads and the billboard. That's a kind of one-shot deal.
Yes.
How do you get continuity into the future?
The website. I would hope that the website would do that. And I think just just as the early adopters will be the ones to get the clotheslines first, and the clotheslines themselves will promote the idea. If someone sees that their next door neighbor has one and they want one, just because their neighbor has one, well, that's okay.
Sharon, I love your proposal, but you're taking us back to the future, right?
Yes.
And it doesn't seem like all that long ago that bylaws were introduced that prohibit people from putting up clotheslines.
Yes.
And the developers were in cahoots with that as well. And how are you going to overcome that?
Well, I think it was 3 years ago that the current provincial government made clotheslines legal for use anywhere in Ontario, and the exception being condos. And I think in condo country, it's still about conformity and consensus, and so maybe the condo association, they have to work on that as a condo by condo problem, right? They have to work that out for themselves. But certainly any backyard in any subdivision in London or anywhere in Ontario, it's now perfectly okay to have a clothesline.
You're talking nostalgia. I grew up in West London, and my mother attached me to the clothesline for the So this is bringing back mixed messages. The other thing, I just wanted to comment on a positive note to all people seeking grant. You stood up and said, we like our initiative.
Yes.
And I think that's a very powerful statement when people who are working hard and they're engaged, as you all are in all your projects, but to stand up comfortably and say, we like our initiative. And it's clean, easy for all of us to understand. So I appreciate the straightforwardness and the positive, even if I have flashbacks that are killing me.
Thank you.